Hey guys, this is Mogamu, and today I'm looking at the Oberon Warframe. Oberon, considered a paladin, is probably better described as a cross between healer and damage dealer. In fact, all of his abilities are somewhat variations of other Warframe abilities with small tweaks, though a true comparison probably would land him a little closer to Necros. Oberon's stats are fairly moderate with a bit more health than average. Once you've built him, you'll have a supportive skill set with a bit of damage to mix things up. Smite, much like Necros' Soul Punch, punches an enemy square in the face, and in a very similar way has the potential to do damage to nearby targets. The difference is, Smite emits rays that bounce randomly around the room in the hopes of hitting another enemy. If you're in a tight hallway like a Corpus ship, there is a strong possibility of doing some damage to surrounding targets, but in a wide open area, it's not quite gonna work. Stick to using this in tight quarters, if at all. Smite is affected mostly by strength mods and a bit by range mods. Hollowed Ground ignites the floor in a square of flame-like damage, dealing damage to enemies who walk through it. I emphasize walk because flying enemies like Corpus Ospreys won't take damage from it. However, ground-based enemies who are brave enough to walk through it will take damage. Best uses include placing it at doors, in hallways, and on walkways. But be warned, damage type varies per faction and enemy type. Hollowed Ground is affected by strength, range, and duration mods. Renewal, the first skill related to healing, also emits beams, but these target nearby teammates, healing them over time once the beam makes contact. Or rather, when it makes contact. Keyword here is over time. The health isn't applied instantly, so plan ahead. This isn't really an emergency heal. Oberon's heals won't fix a broken leg like Trinity, but he can bandage up a few scratches here and there if you need it. Renewal is affected by strength mods. Reckoning lifts enemies in the air and slams them into the ground. And pretty hard too. So back to the damage dealing, but not quite. You see, if the enemy dies, they have a chance of dropping a health orb. Still, it's no Trinity, but the health orbs may come in handy. So maybe you need to team up with a Necros for Desecrate or a Mag for Shield Polarize, and there you go. Team synergy, I guess. Reckoning is affected by strength and range mods. Now, when modding Oberon, I went with a rifle amp for my aura, and focus for more damage and healing, and stretch for range. I added streamline and flow for energy, and finally I wanted to bulk up my defenses a bit because a paladin is supposed to be a bit defensive, so I added redirection and vigor for more defense. If you've got the extra mods, personally I did prefer to go with blind rage and focus for more healing and damage, and a fleeting expertise to balance out the power efficiency loss from blind rage. This lets me fit the roles of damage dealer and healer a little bit more than with the regular mods. Overall, I'd say Oberon sits right in the middle of very different roles, where you could decide to focus on healing or dealing damage. You could say everything he does is done better by another frame, or you could say that he has a place as a rounded, blended support class, especially for people looking to fill more roles than just healing. Well, that's if your healing balls ever catch up with your teammates.